qualification side.
Regaining means you giving up your Kenyan citizenship, first of all. So the government knows that you gave up the Kenyan. So why should you like tell them again? Like, for me, it's just like a loophole of creating, like, you know what where I'm headed to. Because when you opted out, you went there and then you said, yeah, I need a certification to give up my Kenyan certificate. I mean, my Kenyan citizenship. You get the certificate that denunciation form. I think that's the name of it. Yeah. So you opted not to be Kenyan, and now you're not Kenyan. Now you said you want to regain your Kenyan citizenship. So they know automatically. Like, I don't know if I'm the only one having issues understanding this part of like declaration and regain, because when you regain, it means you are, and now you want to have it again, which is like basically you are telling them again, like, okay, I'm back.
Thank you. Exactly. That is it. And that's why I said, you once renounce your citizenship and then you want to take it back. You've taken it back, yes, but you have two passports. Let me assume that you are coming to Kenya. You have your German passport, right?
Right.
Yes, and then it happens that you have declared that you are a citizen. You have dual nationality. What happens is that we normally have an endorsement, your passport, German passport or Kenyan passport, whichever you can use. Once you reach the airport, you say, I have my German passport, I'm a Kenyan. For that case, you'll be exempted from having to pay for the visa. That's one of the benefits. Because the declaration is supposed to be endorsed in your passport, that it shows that despite being a Kenyan, I'm also having a German nationality. So you can use even the Kenyan passport, the German passport, to enter Kenya and go out at will.
Can I say that I find it kind of, the costs are really quite ridiculous. Paying 50,000 to get back your Kenyan nationality, and then if you compare you travel like once a year to go to Kenya, the cost for the visa in, let's say, for the next 10, 15 years, it does not add up. It really does not add up.
I've heard you, but what I'm doing basically here is that some of these comments which are coming to us, we are taking them as concerns from our Kenyans in the diaspora. But for the time being, this is norm. This is what we are doing. So maybe what we can do is that you can take your input out of this discussion, and then we'll be able to sit down and then look at all the concerns that we have that will come up in this meeting.
But just also from my side, I think in preparation for this meeting, it would have been better if you had like a live presentation on how to apply the FNS. Like if you walked with us through the process, not just tell us about it, like walk through us in a presentation to see how it's done. Because I still cannot reconcile why I should get an FNS account if I already have an e-citizen account, which I use to apply for the Kenyan visa.
I think that can be arranged. We can have another session, and that can be arranged for next time. If that's okay, I think that is workable. Because right now, he didn't prepare to have it that way. So there's nothing much he can do, but he can take that input and prepare for it in that manner for next time. There was a question to the embassy about delays in processing of documents. Most of these documents are not processed at the embassy. The embassy is a conduit between the Kenyans here and Nairobi, which we usually refer to as capital. So we are a conduit between Germany and capital. So whenever we get your applications, we dispatch them to Nairobi for processing, and we make follow-up during the intervening or the waiting period. When they are processed from Nairobi and they are done, they are sent to us through the diplomatic bag, and whenever we receive them, we dispatch. We dispatch so many documents, certificates of good conduct, certificates of no impediment to marriage, IDs, passports, all those, they come through us and we send them to you. Whenever we receive them, we don't delay. We are expedient in forwarding and dispatching the documents to you. I've come to realize that there's always this concern about the embassy not reachable. We are reachable, and we also answer emails. We answer emails whenever we get requests. Also, there is a new mobile number that we have. When there were very many complaints that we are not reachable, we got a new mobile number, which I think, Jen, if it's okay, you can post it in the chat so that everybody has that number. It's a mobile line. I would encourage that if the matter is not complex, you can chat on that mobile. There will be somebody to chat back. Sometimes it may not be immediate because of a lot of work. We are also understaffed, but we'll endeavor to get back to you. So we are trying to improve the service delivery to you, to the diaspora, and make things better. Emails also is another form. It's a common form, a common way of communication. So we also encourage that, and we'll always get back to you. We are trying our best. There is always room for improvement, and we commit to improve. Thank you. That's what I can say to that question. The next questions will be coming from Abebo Akoth, followed by Waresh.
Thank you very much. I am still tied in between the regaining and dual declaration. I'm sorry, I don't get it. The guy is not really explaining these things very well. Like, I'm not the only one. I think Zed also has pointed out. Hatuelewi vizuri, like, okay, amesema there are two different types of if you've lost or if you gave up your citizenship and you want to get it back. There are two ways of doing that, either through regaining or either through dual declaration. So regaining, he said, is when you've taken another nationality over a certain country and you want to take your citizenship, like your Kenyan citizenship, back. So that was with the processing fee, which was 20,000, the insurance fee 50, and the declaration fee was 10, in total 80. So hapo nimelewa. But then dual declaration, is it since we have already lost our citizenship and we took the German one, is it a case where it is upon us to decide if you want to go the regaining way or you want to go the dual declaration way? Ama, is it a specific way? Because he's also talking about something about 2010, which I don't understand. If you left your citizenship, your Kenyan citizenship, if you denounce it, Ukoma 2010. What about people like us who just denounced it 2 years ago? So, sielewi hapo 2010 inaingiliaje, I don't understand. And I would really like to understand the regaining and dual. Hapa explain vizuri. Regaining nimeelewa, lakini dual declaration sijaelewa. I don't get it. And I really want to understand it.
Okay, regaining.
I'm sorry, madam, is it since we've already lost our citizenship, is it upon us to decide which way we want to go? Ama, is it fixed? Kama you lost it and you want to gain it back, you go regaining. Okay. Na hii dual declaration, ni gani hii? I don't get it. He's not explaining it well.
Isaac, can you please mute yourself? Thank you.
Yes. Please mute yourself. Can you explain that concept slowly so that we can get it much more clearly? The regaining and the declaration.
Thank you. I'm back again. I'll do my best that at least we can understand it. Understand this is Abebo. Abebo, maybe if you can tell me exactly when did you get your German nationality, then we can start from there so that at least I can make it clear. Abebo? After 2010. Okay, I'm taking a general view that you got your nationality after 2010. Then the assumption is for Germany specifically, before July 2024, nobody could take the German nationality without renouncing your Kenyan citizenship, right?
Yes, exactly.
Exactly, yes. So if at all you renounced, your citizenship, so that for you to get the German nationality, then for you to get back your Kenyan citizenship, then you need to regain.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm trying to assume somebody took the German nationality maybe in August.
Okay.
Right? When the laws allowed any nationality to take the German nationality, right?
Yes.
That means you will still maintain your Kenyan your original nationality, but you can take also German nationality, right? So for that case, the only thing you need to do for that case is you just make the dual declaration.
Okay.
You don't go the process of regaining. Yes.
Okay, I understand.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Who denounced before that?
Then they have to go for the regaining.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to go through the regaining process. Yes.
And with the
that you have two citizenships.
Hello?
After regaining, then do you have to declare also, or you regaining and then you're done?
Once you regain, you become a Kenyan. Then what you do, you normally apply for something called endorsement. That is, you want to have an endorsement in your passport to say that you have Kenyan nationality and you have German nationality.
Okay, now that's a bit confusing because you had mentioned that you can do regaining and dual declaration concurrently to speeden up the process. So that's why we're a bit confused there.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. That at least now that is a bit clear.
No, not yet. Still,
not yet. Huh? So, what is there are two elements. The two elements of regaining and dual declaration. So, as I said, dual declaration is for somebody who never renounced. You took the nationality of another country, but you never renounced your Kenyan citizenship. And that is only if it happened after the promulgation of the 2010 Constitution. Right? Are we together there?
yes, we are together there.
Yes. So if it happens that way, then you can apply. The process is supposed to go to the dual declaration way. But for somebody,
can I intervene in this matter? But I want to intervene in this matter from my my heart of being a lawyer, because I was just looking at the Constitution and something like that. So it says, regaining Kenyan citizenship is done by a person who was a citizen of Kenya by birth and who ceased to be a citizen of Kenya because he or she acquired the citizenship of another country before 27th August 2010. So you have to verify eligibility to regain. You ensure that you are eligible, and this includes meeting residency requirements by proving that you previously held Kenyan citizenship and you lost it under certain conditions. So the documents you need some documents. Yeah, is that helping? Is it helping? I don't know.
Yes. Okay, which document?
Yeah, so the documents you need is to prove your citizenship, such as the old Kenyan passport or any documents that prove that you're a Kenyan citizen. And then you also must present...
Is there any specific of which documents?
The Kenyan passport, the old Kenyan passport.
There is a whole list.
But I had to give it up.
Yes, now I think the way this question should be answered, Rogers, we'll probably need a document that serializes or,
Birth certificate.
everything that is required. Okay.
Can I help?
The checklist. There is a checklist in the requirements.
Yeah.
And it says a copy of your old passport or copy of your old ID.
Only need
But here's Madge. Can't you guys let Ambassador speak? Because she was.
And I want to not apply for to apply for a Kenyan one. How do I get that for my children if I don't have like an ID or anything? I do have my old passport. How do I go about that?
Rogers, we are back to you.
Okay, thank you. If you renounced your Kenyan citizenship way back then, before 2010, you are issued with a certificate called renunciation certificate. That proves that you had Kenyan nationality, and then you renounce it for the sake of you taking another nationality. That is proof enough to say that you are a Kenyan, and you can apply to regain back your Kenyan citizenship.
Wait, what's the name of that document?
A renunciation certificate.
Yes, I have that. So I can use that to get my children the Kenyan passports, right?
But I didn't get one.
Okay.
Can you take that bilaterally? I think for those who didn't have one.
If you didn't get one, then you can follow it up for you. You can make it. You can follow it up for you. See how far it is, and then you can get back to you so that at least you can be assisted.
Okay. And whom do I contact?
The embassy.
Yeah, you'll be given some contacts at the embassy so that you can reach them, and then we'll have a communication between us, the embassy.
Sorry, but when I got my German passport, it was proved and everything. So can I not get that information here in Germany where I got married, where I had to send all the papers to be proved in Kenya?
Your question is not clear. I didn't quite get it.
So I'm asking, since when I got married, I had to give all the papers to the German Rathaus here so that they could prove. So I gave them all the documents before they handed me a German passport. And they sent the passport to Kenyan embassy because I had to give it up. The only thing I now have is a very old ID from Kenya.
Me too.
I have the very old ID from 1991.
I have for 1971.
So
I think the ID can work.
But I have my passport number.
Your ID can work, and even your passport number can work because it has is it an IR number? You call it in immigration. Your file can be traced. I don't think that it's a challenge that is insurmountable.
Excuse me, but I tried that, and it was nowhere to be found. Whenever I give the ID number, they cannot trace it. And when I give the passport number, they cannot trace it. I even went to Kenya, and I have a birth certificate with a stamp of the German embassy, of the Kenyan embassy in Germany. And that original birth certificate, which I have, was in Kenya, registered under another name. That means they sold my birth certificate to someone else.
Okay,
that's a joke.
Let's bring some order, because this case looks like a complex one. It may take a lot of time. I would invite you to come bilaterally, and any similar cases to this one, like this one, to come bilaterally to the embassy, and then we can begin the conversation of following those peculiar cases together. Come with your documents, whatever you have, and we can begin that process of connecting with Nairobi to find out, to find a solution to your cases. Yeah.
I even have a document in which hospital I was born, on which day and even the time.
It's okay. So let's move on.
Can you
Was there another question pending?
Yes, Madam Ambassador, I have a question. Yeah, it may seem stupid, but in German they say "Es gibt keine dumme Frage." I had, when I denounced my Kenyan citizenship, I got a new German, like a German passport, but then I had to go through a process since I changed my name. So I went back to Kenya, I got a new passport with my changed name, the way I'm called here in German. And then that passport is the one that I gave, like I denounced, But then I kept my old one. The old one has still my original name before I got my husband's name. So my question is, with this old passport, that means I'm still in the Kenyan system as a Kenyan citizen. Can I just instead of going through all this process, can I just, that's the old dark blue passport. Once the rules came that we have to have the light blue. So I'm talking of the dark blue one. So can I just use that old one and, just renew it and get the blue one without going through all this process? Because I believe with the old one, I'm still a Kenyan citizen. Or what do you think about that?
It's a straight yes.
It's a straight yes?
Am I correct?
Maybe Rogers can help us.
Rogers?
He's not here.
Okay, Jane, are you in the meeting? It's an issue of renewal. I think that passport can be renewed.
Yeah, because that one has my old name without my husband's name.
That is a yes.
So with that one, I'm still like a Kenyan citizen because I did not denounce myself, right?
It is just expired.
Exactly.
So you can renew it. That is a yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, the next one to ask question is Adam CJ.
Thank you very much, Madam Ambassador. This is really great that you've given us a chance to interact this way. My question is actually very simple, and it is the Germans are very strict when you take other citizenship. And in this case, usually the process is you had to inform them before you had to do it. Is this now still the same situation, or when we go through this process, we don't have to inform them anymore, that this just happens automatically?
Okay, thank you, Adam, for that question and for being brief. iPad, is that an old hand or you have another question?
A question?
It's an old one.
No, it's not. Hello?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I have a question. So for me, I also renounced my citizenship in 2017 or so, long before this new rule. And I started the process of regaining a permanent residency instead. So now with this new situation, it seems that the Kenyan passport would be more beneficial. Is there a difference? What is the main difference? Because the cost of both applications is similar. So yeah, what to do there in that situation?
Okay, thank you. Who is the next one?
Can I ask a question?
Betty, yes.
I just want some clarification. When we get our ID, like when we are regaining our nationality, I'm assuming the ID number will be the same. There'll be no difference. It'll be my old ID number, right?
Yes.
Okay. That's it. I think other questions have been answered.
Yeah, the ID question. Okay, can I give Rogers the mic to answer, I think there are some previous questions? Then we come to you.
There's Adan who was asking about this, how strict German is. If you have to take a nationality of other country, you have to inform them, right?
Yes.
For that case, you see, for my case, I cannot talk about the German rules, but if we dictate that you have to inform them, so be it. But I tend to presume that once they allowed people to have dual nationalities, then it's prudent for the applicants to make it clear, to make it known to the authorities that you have a nationality of another country. I think that's why maybe they wanted you to inform them, right?
I'm asking this is because of exactly the second point where we have to pay for dual application. What exactly is there? Okay, I've gotten back my Kenyan citizenship, and I have to pay for declaration of this dual citizenship. I thought with this arrangement, the immigration department in Kenya will inform the German, then I'm more or less, let's say, not obliged anymore to take the responsibility of informing the German side. This is why I asked this question. Thank you.
Question, please.
Yes, Zenna.
Hello. Yeah, I have a question, and many people have written it already. If we have children, can they also take the Kenyan passport? I mean, like our children are German, but as a Kenyan mother, I would like them to have the Kenyan passport. Is it possible?
Rogers, can you take up that and the two previous questions?
Thank you.
Zena, maybe I can just respond to that. I'm not the professional here, but you can do that. My children have both passports and they were both born in Germany.
Yeah.
And now that I have the microphone, can I quickly ask my question, which my hand has been up for a long while?
Mr. Mulwa,
yeah.
I have a German passport, like I'm German now. So are they going to, my children are going to get automatically the Kenyan passport when I get my dual passport also? Can I apply for them?
You can. I applied for mine when I had my German passport.
Yeah, so
if they're over 18.
No, they were under 10.
No, mine is already 20.
Okay.
Okay. So
you're allowed until 23. I stand to be corrected. Until your children are 23, you're allowed to apply.
Okay, let's not make it a discussion. Let's go to the experts. Roger.
Yes.
Roger, could you answer that? There's it looked like it was automatic, but there's an issue of age.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So Roger, please answer.
Yes.
And then we get the next.
Yes, I'm here. Let me start back with the rules. About Adan. Adan is still insisting that the government of Kenya is ought to inform the government of Germany that you took dual nationality. But you see here, the arrangement is not between the two countries. It is an individual arrangement. So it is upon you to inform Kenya that you have a German nationality, and you inform German that you have a Kenyan nationality. So the onus is on Adan to make sure that the two authorities know that you have the nationality of the other country.
That's not even a problem.
Okay.
Can children of Kenyans who are also of German nationality and are over 18 years get Kenyan citizenship?
Yes, they can.
Till which age?
Application.
There is no limit.
There's a limit. There's a limit because at the age of 23, a child can have both nationalities, and then after that time, then he can choose to become either of them, right? But if anything beyond that, then you're supposed to do it on application.
So
right?
after 23 years, they have to apply.
Yes, that means...
Allow me to differ there, please. I know you're the expert, but my kids got theirs under the age. I got them when I was still a Kenyan, and they are now 26 and 23, and they've never been asked to give up one because they were allowed to have both, and they are having both passports since minor age up to now, 26 and 23. They carry both passports and they travel with both passports. I'm sorry to say that.
Can I answer you? Just from my experience, the law was from the German side, And some people have been exempted. Jackie, I know people personally whose children have been asked. One is just came to me. At 23, they were asked to choose. So probably yours was a special case, but at 23, Germany used to ask. But now with the new law, they probably would not.
Okay, yes, I just want to confirm there that the law changed. Okay, for children born before 2013, they were allowed dual citizenship in Germany. Then when they reach 18, they would need to choose one. Then children born after 2013 were allowed to keep dual citizenship even after they become of an adult age, even after 18. But now with the new rule that's effective now, I think it's just still remains the same. But there was a difference except for the exceptions. Back to you, Ambassador.
Thank you.
A question?
It looks like those were their terms, like old terms under the law for acquiring German citizenship. And now with the new law, some of the requirements you need to check, the law and find out whether the terms are static or something changed. So the lawyers in the room, please make that research. I think it looks like this session is very popular. We might need to have another one. So the lawyers in the room, check that. And then in the next session, you can let us know, or you can even write us an email at the embassy, but we'll also try and check that out so that we know what is provided for currently. Yes?
My question is, it's to do with the ID. I applied my ID on last year, November. Now we have August. Till today, no reply from the embassy saying that the ID will take longer. Secondly, the embassy, which I try more than one time to call. No, either they switch off the phone or they don't reply. Thirdly, I want to ask if the ID will take longer, why not the embassy to inform us, give like an official letter that, in Germany, they are very strict. If you go to the immigration office, they ask for something in hand, if you have something, which I can't hand to them. My kindly, if can be kind, for those who have not got the ID, if we can get like a letter where it states that the IDs will take longer than now. It's almost an year, and staff are getting harder as the time goes on.
Thank you, Brian Jerry, for that question.
May I answer, Brian Balozi, quickly?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Brian, my name is Idris. I'm a first counselor at the Kenya Embassy, Berlin. Now,
okay.
if there is any government documentation or anything that you are asked to provide here in Germany, and for one reason or the other, either your passport, your ID, or any documentation that you are expecting from us has not yet reached you, we as an embassy always do write a letter for that individual Kenyan to inform that authority that so-and-so passport application is under process, just sort of like trying to inform them officially from our side. So if there is anything like that, because even this week itself, I've been signing several letters of such kind of letters. So if there is anything like that, you can always request the embassy, and then we can be able to provide that for you. So from that perspective, I think that's how I'll answer.
The problem is we can't reach the embassy. Either they are hanging on the phone or not answering the emails. Like brings the life difficult here,
No, I think I understand what you're saying, but I think now let's because sometimes for one reason or the other, probably if there hasn't been any response, because the embassy gets a lot of also emails and queries and calls and all that. I mean, I'm not trying to justify, of course, you had to have been answered, and I hope nobody did that deliberately from our side. But if, for example, the contacts and the email information would be put here, please try to write to us, and probably also the emergency number would also be put there. Please try to also contact us.
Okay, another question is, why is it taking too long? Normally, we are told within 3 weeks or say, within
now
1
just a
month
quick
it was supposed to have been printed.
Okay, just a quick one. Is it the first time application? Is it a renewal? Or is it a lost ID?
It's a first time ID because I came here when I was underage. Yeah. So I am applying for the first time.
Okay. Please just okay. Then we have a colleague here. Probably Jane might be able to answer.
Has he taken biometrics?
Yeah.
I took it in Frankfurt as of last year. Till today, as of the ID, they have not been printed. But I got a follow-up that my information is already in Kenya, but the print is not yet done. I got a follow-up that there was a batch number which was my ID was included, but the ID was not sent, and I didn't get a reply from the embassy. So I've been following up. I'm really telling you, being honest.
Please also ask a question. I have a similar question to that.
Because for people,
Brian, can we have understood your
ask a question also?
Your frustration?
No,
So my question is for the people who are applying now, will it take the same time? Because for them, for some people, they have to apply for an ID also.
That's not the regaining process. Could we please ask the process that is announced here?
Exactly.
Yes.
So, Brian, I was going to say, I've had your frustrations. I'm sorry about that. If you go to our website, we have a new phone there, and it's an Android. Please take a picture and email us the document that you have regarding your application for ID, and we shall take that matter up with Nairobi.
In Nairobi,
there are also challenges as well.
Sorry,
there
was
litigation around this area of ID issuance. So there are some other technicalities when it comes to the issue of IDs, but we take it up, send that to us, and we will take that matter up in Nairobi.
Can I please ask a question? I have almost similar question to that.
I don't know
that's similar. That's ID.
Let me go to my chat. I don't know.
Nasra, please, Nasra, because she's asking about ID, and
I'm not asking about ID
right now.
Mine is also about a passport, which okay. Can I ask you a question now?
Lead the call, Nasra. Please, back to you, Balozi. Yeah.
I'm trying to look at my chat. Eric had spoken, right?
No, not yet. I want to ask a question.
No. I'm here from the beginning and I can't speak. I've been raising my hand from the beginning.
Same here.
I'm Eric. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes. Good evening. Thank you, Sana, Madam Balozi. My questions are quick and simple. With this new rule, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. What are the implications for after regaining the passport in terms of taxation for some of us who may be working here or something like that? Is that already clear or is still a matter due to get sorted out?
Okay. Thank you, Eric. Beatrice Waruguru, make it brief. You're next.
I just have a few questions. From the beginning, he said that we need Form 1, but I'm here at on the e-citizen side on the application process. They need Form 3. Could he maybe clarify? And with the issue of the immigration number, the immigration file number, the one that you get after you apply your passport, is it the same immigration number when you got your first passport, or is it a new immigration number? And the third question, the police clearance, do they need one from Kenya or do they need one from Germany? Thank you.
Thank you, Rich. We do HW and then we go back to Rogers.
Very much for this opportunity. I just wanted to say that maybe mine is just a remark, and maybe one question. I think next time maybe it makes sense to have a presentation like Ongori mentioned, and maybe kind of summarize this question. Then we save a lot of time in the process. I mean, it's just a mess here. It doesn't help. I think moderation is the key thing. And, then everybody can be satisfied and we avoid this back and forth. Everybody talking at the same time is just really, really embarrassing. Mine is, regarding the process, I'm wondering if you have a Kenyan ID. Some people did not hand in their Kenyan IDs. Maybe I missed that answer. Can you regain your Kenyan citizenship? Because from what I understood before renouncing my Kenyan citizenship, you're a Kenyan citizen by birth and nobody will ever take that from you. I mean, of course, there's this bureaucratic process of handing out or, giving up your Kenyan citizenship. But I thought maybe the process would be you just go back with your birth certificate and apply for your Kenyan citizenship. I think this would make sense. And this is the easiest way to incorporate us, to kind of appreciate us as Kenyan citizens who are really working hard and contributing to the economy of Kenya. I just do not understand this issuance fee of 50,000 Kenya shillings. I know it's an issue that is beyond this forum, but because you, Madam Ambassador, said you're collecting ideas also, I kindly would like to suggest, maybe on behalf of the people who are here and maybe all Kenyans in Germany, that this is really, really unrealistic because it's really beyond any imagination that we can pay 50,000 shillings for that. It doesn't even help the economy of Kenya. So maybe please take this idea and tell them that this cannot, it's just impossible. I'd rather keep my German citizenship and go to Kenya as much as I won't pay the visa fee. It's as simple as that. So we are opening loopholes for illegal things to happen. And this, I think, does not help our economy. And to that, maybe the question is there any process that is going on to revoke these very high fees? Is there any court process taking place at the moment? And maybe in future? Because for me, maybe I'd rather wait for this government to go home and then follow up with my Kenyan citizenship. Thank you very much. And I really appreciate in advance you taking our ideas to Nairobi.
Thank you. And I agree that maybe the next time we will need to ask you to submit all your questions in advance so that we can group them and classify them. And it will be more effective in terms of participation. And in this participation, it calls for discipline for both ends. For the issue of 50K, the expense of the fee that is required, we had also circulated the diaspora policy through your diaspora leaders, and we got this feedback and we sent it to Nairobi. So that is something that is internal. I believe that maybe the ministry that is in charge of this issue is looking at it and reviewing. I don't know, but the views were given to us and we channeled them back to Nairobi. You mentioned a court process, that usually the court processes will be something that is private and from the Kenyan citizens. So I'll only make that comment and give the mic back to Rogers to answer the previous questions.
Thank you, Ambassador. There are, we can say, 3 questions. One was about taxation. And I'm not an expert in taxation, but what I know is that if at all somebody is residing in Germany, there's no way you can be double taxed because you already pay tax at the other side. So the issue of double taxation, I don't see it coming up. The other question was from Waruguru, who wanted to confirm about the application forms that are being used in the application. We have 2 types of application forms. We have the Form 1 for regaining nationality, and then Form 3 for dual declaration. So those are the two forms that we use. And then there was another question about the immigration number, if it changes. The number that we have with the immigration, that is your number, and will never change. Anytime you make an application, you will refer to that number, and that's where we have all the records, and that's where you refer from. So the number does not change. The other question was from HW, who was talking about the fees, which are a bit high and everything. I think that one, Ambassador has dealt with it, and I think that is done with it.
It was also on the ID, the birth certificate, and the ID. Like I thought the process would be you just go to Kenya or to the embassy and apply for your passport, and you get it back because you're a Kenyan, born in Kenya. You're a Kenyan forever. That's how I understood it initially. I don't know where this 50,000 is coming from.
Okay, that is your thing. You thought maybe that is it. But now the process is the way that we are telling you now. That is the process, right? So, but if there's any concern that you think it will be done the other way, then the ambassadors put it rightly that this, you can give your comments and observation so that they can be charged to the relevant authorities for consideration. But for the time being, the process, the way that we are laying it down, so as far as we're concerned, as far as we are here now, this is the way to go. If there's any changes thereafter, then we'll get the changes.
Thank you. And then the issue of tax, yes, income is usually taxed at source. Where you work, that is where you pay your tax. However, for property, if you own property in Kenya, then Kenyan property tax will apply. Okay, so now we move to Rosalind, and then Charles, and then Elizabeth Ragua. Rosalind. Can you mute Rosalind? Admin, mute Rosalind. Okay, let's move to Charles.
Yes, mine was just a follow-up question, Rogers. I think there was a question that was asked on the application, whether the police clearance that is required is the Kenyan one or the German ones. I mean, for those of us who are staying here, so which clearance or police clearance form do you require there? And then the second question was, I saw on the FNS, there's a provision where you can actually upload your documents and submit them online. So the question is, do we still have to have them through the embassy, rather, or can we just submit them on the FNS and that's it? I think that's it.
Okay, Marge, and then Elizabeth.
Hello, I had submitted some questions to Balozi, but one question that I have now, a legal one. The reference is to the 2010 Constitution. Is it because that is when the dual citizenship was allowed? And so what happens to citizens who actually renounced their Kenyan citizenship before 2010? Because Rogers was saying if, after 2010, we're moving with this constitution, does it just mean it applies to everyone, even who renounced the citizenship before? Question one. Question number two, previously, there was, actually, I think it could still be the case that if you're not Kenyan, you cannot own property in Kenya. So could you just confirm that if, for example, citizens here have the dual citizenship, that protects them? Because we have the good way of doing it, but we also know that in Kenya, somebody can take advantage of you if you show them your other passport, and then they suddenly claim you cannot you cannot own property there. Thank you, Balozi. Back to you.
Thank you. And Elizabeth Ragua.
I had the regaining form. The application is 20,000, and then the issuance is 50,000. But I also had there's the dual declaration. So my question is, does one pay 2 times the 20,000, Or how is it done? Because when I add it, look like it's going to be 100,000. How is it?
Okay, so let me jump in very quickly about the property ownership by foreigners. Our constitution allows foreigners to own property. I can't quite remember the exact clause in the constitution, so that is there. And then I will give Rogers to take up the other questions.
Thank you, Ambassador. The first question was coming from Charles, and he was asking about the police clearance, whether you can use the one from Germany or you have to get domesticated one. Given the fact that you are applying this application from Germany, they will take it that you have to get the German police clearance. But now the catch is it's supposed to be translated to English, so at least we can understand it, because not everyone has the ability to peruse through the German language. Yeah. So, but make sure that it is translated to English, and mostly we have the prescribed translators. You can't just take it from anywhere, but we have the notaries who can translate that clearance into English. That one is allowed, right? And then the other one was supposed to talk about the submission of document. We say that you do the application online, you submit it online, but you are required also to make hard copies, printed hard copies, through the embassy so that they can reach us for processing. So that has been the trend, and that's how we do it. Apart from submitting it online, we also need you to make hard copies and then tell them to us through the embassy. And then there is another question.
A short question
talking
to
about
that point. A short question to that point. When you get hard copies, do you need a notary signature? That the documents are
the hard copies that you send.
Yes, the hard
copies that you send
to the embassy.
It is the document that you upload on the system.
Yeah. I mean, later on, when we uploading the documents, do you need a documentation signed by a notary that these documents are real copies and something like that, or is it just a hard copy on a normal way?
Okay, about notaries, I said about the police clearance.
That's
translation
clear.
purposes.
I mean, copies of ID or a copy of passport of the old ones. Do you need a signation from a notary that this is a copy and it's translated or something?
No. For the ID and the passport copies, we are the originators. We are the issuers. So we don't need a notary to do that, because you can confirm it from our side.
Okay, then it's clear.
The purpose of the notary is that the police clearance, because we don't understand the German. So at least if you have it
towards the police.
No, we are waiting, Jamani.
No, because the police thing is always it's written in 3 languages. Do you really need to translate it? Because like the one we have in German, it's written in German, French, and English. Do we still need to translate it?
No, if you can have a copy, if you have a copy in English, so be it. But the only thing is that we need to understand, because if it's in German, then know for sure that not everybody knows the German, so we can't even comprehend what is written, right?
Can I please ask a question, or a number of questions meanwhile?
You
can I please state?
You can pose the question.
Yes, thank you.
What Rogers is trying to say is that if the police clearance certificate is in German, nobody will understand it in Nairobi. So I think it is always good to have a translation attached to it, so that you make the work easier. Instead of it,
let me cut you short. Let me cut you short.
Okay.
Can you please, that's the problem with the Kenyan government. You've not done your due diligence. The question you're being told is the German police certificate of good conduct is written in 3 languages. That is the
That's
way
what I'm
it comes.
telling. Yeah.
So
it comes in three languages.
You just need to do the due diligence.
Is there a problem there? Then there's no problem. If it is in English, German, and another
it's in three languages. So you can still translate.
Okay.
Can I show you a copy? Can I show you a copy now? Then you see, because I think maybe you have not done your due diligence. The first thing you need to do when you're coming to people is do the due diligence. Ask yourself, which documents come from these countries? And then you know that this comes, it's like this. Then you give people the right information. Now, when you tell us we need to translate it, then you're like, oh, this person is telling us information that he doesn't know about. Let me show you a copy of a police abstract. I have it just next to me.
Can Rogers please continue? Tunafanya vitu zingine tuweze Wajerumani. Na sahi ambassador hizi sema sababu yeye ni ambassador. Sina hebu na to behave
other languages. It's admissible. I think that is admissible.
Excuse me, I'd also like to say something that that the Marge, you're trying to shut people down. That's not correct. You should let people talk. And secondly, what I'd like to say is that Ambassador Frost Josiah had an in-house in the embassy a translator who was certified to translate in all languages. So all these translations were done in the embassy. So I don't see why we're trying to shut these things out. We are Kenyans, and we should do this. I mean, what is stopping us from doing this? Frost Josiah had this in-house notary certified translator who would translate documents that would come in whatever languages, and that's how she certified my documents for me. I mean, so what are we trying to discuss here?
This is not a problem. You give the certificate, the police clearance, or whatever document that you need to submit to Kenya. It will be translated and it will be acted upon. That's not a problem. So, Roger, you finished your questions?
Just to say, I just check it here with a German document. So all the documents for Führungszeugnis, so police report, are reported in 3 languages. So it's an official document from the German government in the 3 languages. So there must be no translation.
What is the need for translation when it comes in 3 languages? That is the question.
It's really in 3 languages. I checked it here online. So it's all okay. When they have it in original, they are already in 3 languages.
So it's already admissible. That is already admissible. It will just forward it to Nairobi, to the relevant government authority to act on it. And that is very good if they already translate the police certificates.
It's an official document signed by the German government. The only thing is that the datas are written, for example, Bonn, and then instead of the English version, it's a German version, but the rest is translated into 3 languages. So it's very easy.
Can you please ask other questions?
Sorry?
Can we please ask other questions rather than
are we being called out?
Let me try and put this to a close, but maybe around 9, I was at who should be asking the next question?
No, please, I've been waiting and being polite and waiting, and I don't get called. Yes.
Make it very brief because I have a number of hands here. So make it very brief, and now let's limit our questions to 1 each.
Okay. I have collected so many, and I will be so quickly. I will very quickly go through them. They are written, please. Using my ID on FNS, even though I have lost my citizenship, is this legal? Just using it, even though I'm just trying to reapply for my citizenship. Can I just do that and pretend my ID and everything is still okay?
Today, the session is not on ID. Go to the next question.
Okay. How old may the police clearance certification be?
Next.
Okay. Online application form 1 is not available on the embassy page. I cannot download it from there.
The police clearance certificate, usually it's valid for a year. If I remember, it's valid for a year. So you have to keep renewing it. I think that one.
So, So I can't use my old one. It's okay.
No,
Thank you for the information.
Yes.
Okay.
Then what is not on the embassy website?
Form 1. It's not available for download from the German embassy.
For dual declaration.
Yes.
Okay, we note that. We can
Okay. Okay, FNS immigration.go.ke says OTP verification sent to the registration email, but it does not arrive. There is no OTP being sent. I don't know how some people get it. It doesn't work with me. I switch off VPN. It doesn't make a difference. It doesn't arrive. I wait at my inbox and nothing arrives. Okay.
Maybe this question cannot be answered here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next question. How can I apply to regain citizenship and do the dual declaration at the same time if I need proof of regaining to start the dual declaration? I need something to start the next process. How can I do them at the same time?
Rogers, I think some of these questions, we cannot tackle them and finish here. I'm going to ask that you do
that they are noted.
Document, yes, that takes us step by step and gives us the necessary links and the necessary forms so that we can upload that on our websites, I think.
Thank you.
But next,
what if I never renounced my citizenship and even though I lost it before 2010, I have my old passport, I have my ID, I have everything. Can I skip the first step of regaining?
You will take that question. I hope you're finished.
No, I will leave it with that. I will leave it with that. The other questions, they're not. Yes. And what I just want to say, I do not find it embarrassing that it just shows the way we are doing this. I just see a sign of desperation and a dire need for more dialogue. It's not embarrassing at all. I just see how desperate we all are.
That is okay. And we are going to have more dialogue as we move along. That's okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So next is Samsung SM-P16. Make it brief. We move to John.
Okay, I'll make it brief. Thank you again, Madam Ambassador, for this opportunity. Mine is just to make maybe 2 suggestions, if I'm allowed to, and this will be regarding the maybe like this supplying us with the link of this meeting. I don't know, because I had to get it from a friend who just sent me via WhatsApp. Maybe it would be better if you were getting these things there from the website, because also the number you're talking about is not on the website under contacts. So it would be great if it was posted there on the website for every Kenyan to access it. The other part is just maybe look in reducing the bureaucracy, because in the process, like just shortly, the process with Brian, because I have been following it up. It is a question of communication between the registration office and the immigration. Maybe there needs to be a link to lessen the communication technicalities, because for a whole month, like when the registration says the IDs are in Germany, and then the immigration says or the embassy says they haven't received, it's quite how do I say it? It isn't pleasing at all. So maybe that on that part of maybe reducing that, lessening the staples on while communicating, and also maybe just access to the information like this phone number you're talking about. Maybe it just be posted on the website for everybody to see. Maybe also the link for,
that is okay.
For the next meeting.
I will answer about the link. I did. And admin, can you mute?
Balozi, can you please unmute yourself?
Can you hear me now? So the information about this meeting is posted on our website. That's what I wanted to say. And then the new number is also on our website. Perhaps maybe Jane or anyone here from the embassy can tell us how to navigate to that number, but I know that the number is there and it can be posted here so that you all have it. And then I give the chance to Rogers. Please, Rogers, also make the answer short. I think we should now be winding up. And maybe we should also
chance, Madam Ambassador, please.
I've been waiting to ask a question from the first 10.
Rogers, make the responses short so that we can have the rest also ask their questions.
I'll start with Nasra. Nasra was asking about using the ID, if it's okay to navigate through the system to make the application. The answer is yes, so long as you can access the system. If you have the ID can lead you to and accessing the website, then you can go through that one. I think for the police clearance, that one was answered. And then the form one not available on the website, the embassy website, Madam Ambassador say that we'll deal with that. And then on the OTP, OTP not sent on your email, that one I think it started from the first time, so others are receiving it, others are not receiving it. Simply it might be because of the network or something else, but that one is the system itself. And we'll take it up on. So I'll talk to our administrators to see how, if there's any problem, they work on that one, so that at least everybody will be able to access. And then the other question was whether you renounced or you just got your German nationalities. I don't know how, but you say that if you got your German nationality before 2010, whether you renounced or not, the fact is you took the nationality of another country. So the process is you should go through the process of regaining. That is the position. And then there's these questions from John. His was basically an observation whereby the website, some of the information that he couldn't access that the information that there was a meeting today, he got it from a friend. That one, the embassy through the ambassador is going to deal with that. And then the contacts are there. And then he mentioned an issue about communication, saying that an ID is in the embassy and then the embassy have not received it. I think that is something with the communication, we can deal with that one so that in future it doesn't recur again. I think that those are the questions that came up as we were waiting. Unless there are other questions, then we can take them.
A question.
Please, can we have some order? We have Mulwa and Galaxy Tab A, and then Jackie Kun.
Mulwa here. Asante sana Balozi. My very quick question is: when I apply to regain my citizenship, what documents do I get? Do I just get the passport, or do I need to apply for the passport separately? Do I get my birth certificate, or do I need to apply for that? And do I get my national ID, or I need to apply for that?
Thank you. Galaxy Tab A.
Good evening, Madam Ambassador. My name is Angela.
Okay.
My question is, my daughter is turning 18 this year. She's an adopted child. She came from Kenya with a Kenyan passport and German passport as a child. She got here. She's holding both passports up to now. Now she's getting 18 next month. Which process do I have to follow when I'm doing this dual process? Is it the dual or regaining?
Thank you.
That is my question.
Thank you. Jackie?
Thank you very much, Madam Balozi. My questions have been answered, but I still have two short ones. By holding this passport, are we allowed to hold a political office by being a dual citizens? I'm just checking back on the case of Miguna. The second one is for the offenders, those who are repeatedly offenders, is there a day we will wake up and be told we are being deported or are being deported? How is deportation made easier by being a dual citizenship, a dual citizen? So those are some of my questions, and the others have been asked like those who renounced early 2000, like some of us here. So back to you.
Thank you. Oliver Kirui, and then we come back to Roger.
Thank you, Madam Ambassador, and everyone. So I have a question and a comment. So I begin with a comment. I see you've seen that the questions are so many. There are so many things that many people are asking. So I guess this should not be one-time event. I guess we should do it again and again. There are so many things to be asked. The second aspect is a comment. I would really prefer if we can get a presentation that summarizes what Rogers was presenting at the beginning, because there is still a few confusions on several things here for post-2010, before 2010. And then now comes my question. We're in the process, and people are in the process of getting a German citizenship. And now we're talking about the dual process. Could perhaps Rogers, so you say just a few sentences on what that means in terms of are we going to lose first the Kenyan and then apply again, or it doesn't apply once this process that we are in the middle of applying for the children and so forth is completed? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Rogers, you can take up the mic and answer those questions, maybe except the one for deportation, but if you have something you can say, then I'll say something after you.
Thank you. The first question was from Mulwa. He was talking about if at all somebody has regained his nationality, do you get the passport back automatically or you need to apply? Or do you get the ID back or you need to apply? Or you get the birth certificate back or you need to apply? The point is all these documents are issued on application.
Hello?
So once you regain your nationality, then you need to apply for your passport. You get a new passport. You need to reapply for your ID. You get the new generation passport ID, and then the birth certificate. Also, if you don't have it, you need to apply even for a duplicate of it. So all these documents are done on application, are being issued on application after regaining. Right. And then the other question was from Angela. Angela was saying that there is a child who is below 18 years and who is holding both Kenyan passport and the German passport. And this child is an adopted child. So what I would say is that already this person is holding both nationalities. And this, if I remember, there's someone who said that from 2013, German allowed people to have two passports. So I think that one is okay. It's just a matter of declaration that you have the two passports and you're good to go. And the fact that this person is having all the documents, that is adopted child and is below 18. So if it's a bill that you can just declare, and then you have the passport. And then Jackie, about the political office and deportation, maybe Madam Ambassador can take us through that one. And then there is Kirui. Kirui commented that he would suggest that this process becomes a continuous process, of which we agree, because from this discussion, we see that there are so many areas that we need to cover. And on that end, we will prepare from our side that we have a presentation, so that next time we have a systematic way of going through the application from scratch to the end, so that at least we see how best we have this information with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Rogers. And please prepare something that we can also just upload on our website. That will be very, very helpful. On deportation, you can only be deported if you are not a citizen of the country that is deporting you to your country where you have nationality. But now in the case of dual nationality, then you can't be deported from either of those two countries where you have citizenship. So I hope it's clear. So you can't be deported if you're a German citizen. So that, like I said earlier at the beginning of the session, citizenship confers some rights and obligations. So one of the rights is when you're a citizen of a country, you cannot be deported from that country unless it's a case where you're being denied your nationality. And then the one on political office, the Kenyan constitution does not permit persons of dual nationality to hold state offices. And I think a political office is a state office. It's straightforward. That's what it is. It is the law. The law is the law.
But so how comes then Miguna, Mwende Mwinzi, and the rest were cleared to run for offices?
Sorry?
How comes people like Miguna, Mwende Mwinzi, and many other people have been cleared to run for offices?
I may have to find out what could have happened. I may not have the information here seated in Berlin, but I can take it to assignments and try and get what happened. Yeah.
I think it's to do with money.
I don't know. So can we have the next one?
Can I ask?
Sorry?
I have a question. I don't know if I'm the one who say sorry for.
Who was after Jackie? Jackie was the last. So there's Martin. Is it Martin?
It was the last one. I was the last one.
Yeah, so there's Martin next.
I'm also here.
And Jacinta after Martin.
I'm also here.
I'm also here.
I'm following the list, so we shall reach you. So there's Martin, there's Jacinta,
and it's me.
And then Esther.
Madam Ambassador, you might be forgetting some of us who already asked a question. So you might be thinking how our hands are still there, but we came back. We have another question again.
It's not often that I'm an admin. I'm just trying to balance, please. So I'm trying to follow a chronological order. So I'll still reach even if you're coming in for the second time. So can we follow that order? Martin, are you in or not?
I'm in. Can you hear me?
Yes.
You can hear me?
Yes.
Okay. My name is Martin. Saidi Bado Niko Kenya. I'm doing some work this year. And I have two questions. I did declare to take German citizenship. And now I'm in this process to get back my citizenship. The question is, how about my kids? If the kids want to apply for Kenyan citizenship, what should I do? Okay, this is the one. The second one is, what if a Kenyan and a German couple have a kid, and this kid have to apply for a Kenyan passport? They are asking for a Kenyan birth certificate. How is that possible? Because this girl is born in Germany and have German birth certificate. How is it possible? Thank you.
Sorry to hijack this, but I'm part of this. I'd like to also ask the same question. My children have German citizenships, and I'd like them to have the Kenyan citizenships, but I don't have. I'm German, so how do we go about this?
Rogers, can you answer those? Hello, Rogers?
Hello, thank you. I was trying to unmute myself, but I had a problem, but I'm back.
Okay.
Okay, there's Martin, who was saying that he has the kids who are Germans, but how it is the process of them becoming acquiring the Kenyan citizenship. The first thing is, if Martin was able to regain his nationality, and the kids, depending on the age of the kids, Then if they are below age of majority, then they can just declare and be issued with Kenyan passports. But yes, if they are
Rogers, a quick question. If I don't want to reclaim my Kenyan nationality, but my children are Kenyan, how do I get them to get the Kenyan nationality?
We didn't expect that, Rogers, but it is in there. Let's follow some order. Rogers, please answer and let's move on.
Okay, I had not finished with Martin, so I was trying to finish up with Martin so that I can take the other question. But if somebody is having the German national, if at all you happen to have renounced your Kenyan citizenship, and your kids are there, you want them to have a Kenyan citizenship. On what basis? On you being a Kenyan or you being a German?
Yeah, there has to be a basis. So she will still answer the question. Move on to the next one.
Because you blocked me from answering. Excuse me. My children's father is Kenyan. I am also Kenyan. I'm Kenyan, but I have a German nationality. My children's father, whom I'm divorced from, is Kenyan. So I don't get that question. What are you exactly what are you trying to say?
Okay, now
facts were not given before. Yeah, yes, those facts were not given before. When you're communicating, yes, I would want to say that let's be respectful and communicate properly, give the full details. Let's maintain the program.
That's correct.
The meeting can be effective and useful. So
that's correct.
Given before.
That's correct. We're just not going to assume, right?
There's no issue there. Those children's parents are Kenyan.
Yes.
So they actually acquire Kenyan citizenship.
Sorry to interrupt. No one is assuming, Madam, but the ambassador is right. When you came, you didn't say that you are a Kenyan as well. You just said your children are Kenyans. Yeah. So what the ambassador is trying to tell you is when you're saying your entire story or when you're asking for a question, just be specific because you didn't say you're a Kenyan.
No, I'm sorry, Abebo. I'm sorry. I have to interrupt that. It doesn't matter. I'm in this forum because I'm Kenyan. That automatically makes my children Kenyan. I do not have to specify the ethnicity of my husband, my ex-husband, or anything.
That is why they were assuming. So you should also understand the assumption, where the assumption is coming from, which is okay. All right?
Well, I clarify that. Their father is Kenyan. I'm Kenyan with a German passport. I already clarified that.
So, Ongori, that is straightforward. Parents are Kenyan. Children have a right to acquire the citizenship of their parents.
Despite me not having a Kenyan ID, right?
Rogers, over to you.
Okay, thank you, Ambassador. The basis of citizenship normally conferred to children based on either parent, right? So if the mother doesn't have a Kenyan ID, but the father is a Kenyan, living in Kenya, has a Kenyan passport, Kenyan ID, then outrightly the children can take Kenyan citizenship. Because the basis for a child is either parent. Either the mother or the mother, whoever is a Kenyan, then we'll go by that.
Just let me ask one thing. The children were born to a Kenyan mother. I think she was Kenyan as the children were born. So the children in the German system, they are Germans and they are Kenyans. And the mother, in my case, has renounced the Kenyan citizenship. So what about the children? They are Kenyans in the German system. They can just apply for the dual citizenship. Or should we renounce, regain our citizenship for them to apply to get this dual citizenship, although they are dual in the German system?
Thank you, Juliet. Thank you very much for understanding my question. because that is my question. I renounced the Kenyan citizenship. I am divorced. So I am the sole caregiver of my children, meaning I am of Kenyan birth, but I am a German citizen. How do I get my children to have both dual nationalities? Thank you, Juliet.
Okay, the answer.
But could I be of help?
Yes,
could
I can
say something?
that.
Could I say something, please?
Yes.
This is my request, because these are law technicalities, and the problem with giving an answer which is law-based and you're not very sure is that maybe the person who is asking a question now will not come to the meeting the next time. So the best thing is if there is something the other guy is not 100% sure, please pass. Say, we take your question, we'll note it, because there's a legal department in Ministry of Foreign Affairs, 5th floor, and they are able to take all these questions. So all these questions could be typed, sent to legal Nairobi, and Nairobi could answer this question. So that next time we come, maybe we have 30 minutes of reading a question and answering them. Because the problem of answering questions in assumption is that the person gets the wrong information, then starts a process here in Germany, and then he or she hits a dead end. And the laws in Kenya are very, very much different with the laws in here in Germany. For example, what we call this police abstract, certificate of good conduct. In Germany, most of the times it's 6 months valid. You go to any institution, they will tell you want it 6 months, 6 months, 6 months. In Kenya, it's 1 year, 1 year, 1 year. So what needs really to be done is that the Kenyan government needs to do this and ask the German government how valid is a certificate of good conduct in Germany, so that I do not send a certificate of good conduct. When you contact the German embassy, your German counterpart, they say that is invalid. Then we start again, and then we start again. So the best thing we could do is sit down, analyze the issues that could occur, and then make this bureaucracy end, because it pains. You know, if somebody is staying in München, it takes them 14 hours of travel, going back and forth. And when they come there, maybe for a day, and their things are not sorted, they are done. Maybe the next time they'll get a permission to come to Berlin, it's next year. So I would only beg that maybe we could ask the questions. If we are not sure of the questions, let us not struggle to answer them.
Okay, we hear you, but let's really not waste more time, and it's a weekend. Tomorrow is a working day, school day. Now, what I wanted to say is that children get their citizenship through their parents, via their parents. So where parents renounce or they have to get back their citizenship, at least one parent, before the children get back their citizenship.
Mrs. Ambassador, I have a question.
Yes.
And you say we should not waste time, but you and Rogers have been wasting time. First of all, regarding the law, what Babake have said, you have no clue of what you are talking and which law you are trying to mention. Because when Rogers is talking about the law, he's just talking about a blanket. No clauses, nothing. So according to the law in Germany and in Kenya, please don't say anything if you know nothing. Second, it is about the fee, which is not clear. The fee, it is so high.
It's very disrespectful. That is very disrespectful.
I am calling you out, Majid. I am calling you out.
We refuse, Majid. That is disrespectful.
Disrespect. That is not disrespectful. That is a fact. And
you don't address the ambassador like that. This is just kick him out. It doesn't matter your age.
Yes. It's
you
disrespectful.
cannot address the
ambassador
like
that. Now
yes.
that is how you people I was calling people out. You said I was shutting down people. Let the ambassador now proceed back to Balozi.
Yeah.
Who was talking? We said earlier that we need to maintain decorum. We need to be respectful in our communication. Yeah. So when you are given a chance to ask a question, please avoid giving too much emotion. Go straight to the question. And the questions are being answered. I said that in Kenya, children get their citizenship through their parents. So if parents renounce their citizenship or they abandon their citizenship for one reason or another or through some circumstances, one person at least among the two parents must get back the Kenyan citizenship for the children to be able to obtain Kenyan citizenship. I am very sure about what I'm talking about. I'm not doing any guesswork.
Balozi, let me just come in again. Okay, in my case, my children they are Germans and also Kenyans. They already have this dual citizenship in the German system. So in my case, I have to regain my my Kenyan passport, even though they already have a dual, so that they can get an official dual from the Kenyan side. Is that what you? Is the process. From the German side, they are already known as half German and half Kenyan in the system.
Yeah, but not in the Kenyan side.
But not on the Kenyan side. On the Kenyan side, it's only their passport that has to be applied. That's what I believe. But again, it's like I have to regain my my Kenyan citizenship for them to whatever they were born when I was a Kenyan, for them to again to regain their citizenship, which it's on this other system, on this other side. Why should I regain my passport? Why should I regain my citizenship for them to have that dual citizenship? Although on this other side they have a dual already.
Rogers, do you want to answer that question?
That's why if it's the same person who was talking about the father being a Kenyan.
No, sorry, Rogers, that was not me. My spouse, that's another person. My spouse, in my case, my spouse is a German, but I am the Kenyan mother who gave birth to those children when I was a Kenyan. In the German system, they are both German and Kenyan. But on the other side of the Kenyan side, that means I have to regain my citizenship for them to be recognized in Kenya that they are also Kenyans. Although they are recognized on this other side that they are Germans and also Kenyans.
Okay, maybe I get some clarification from you. The kids have only German passports, right?
Yeah, at the moment they only have the German passport.
Thank you. How old are they?
They are 13, 12 and 10.
Those are minors. Those are minors?
Yes.
Yes, and according to our laws, they can have both passports.
Okay, so I don't need to regain my citizenship for them to also have a citizenship in Kenya and also the Kenyan passport.
No.
So for me on my side, I just apply for their passports, and they are out there. And
you
they
can
are
apply
Kenyans.
for their passport.
Yes,
because those are minors. Those are minors.
Okay, and they are Kenyans. So I don't have to regain. I don't have to go to the process of regaining my my citizenship for them to get a passport and also for them to be noticed that they are also Kenyans.
No.
Okay.
Rogers, can we have that in writing, please?
Ask the question and then it will be answered, because when you have to give a response from I want to give the process of writing.
Can I ask that? We can't hear you.
Sorry, I muted myself by mistake. I was saying that yes, we can write. Please write to the embassy and then we will give you a feedback. We will give you a feedback because we can't write without being prompted. That is the usual process. And what Rogers is trying to say is that there has to be You have to prove that you had Kenyan citizenship. It's just what is required for your kids is proof of Kenyan citizenship of the parent.
At birth or at the moment?
At birth.
Okay.
I think that's what he said, yes. Because dual nationality is a choice you make. You don't have to. You don't have to. It is proving that you had citizenship at birth. That's what is required.
Yes. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, Ambassador, if I might hijack this just quite shortly. At birth, I was a German citizen, but I was born in Kenya. But at birth, the father of the children is a Kenyan, but we're divorced. So how can I get them their passports even if I have no contact with the father of the children?
Rogers, is the consent of the father needed here?
What is there is, if I get it right, by the time the kids were born, the father was a Kenyan and the mother was a Kenyan, right?
The father is still a Kenyan. I am a German. Yes.
So at birth, you were already a German or a Kenyan? I
was already a German.
Okay. That notwithstanding, because for as long as the father is a Kenyan and still a Kenyan, they can take citizenship by their father being a Kenyan, right?
Okay.
I suppose you have details of the father, right?
Yes, I do.
Yes. So for as long as it's proved that this is the father and is a Kenyan, you don't have to go that long way for the
All
kids.
right. Thank you very much. That was very informative. Thank you very much.
Okay, so the consent is needed. All you need to do is to give proof that the father was Kenyan.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, so I saw Cyrus Rubiro.
I think most of the things have been talked about. Mine is to just thank you and Rogers. I know Rogers is quite late in Kenya, but nevertheless, and there was also on a Sunday, you sacrificed your time to give us this information. Madam Balozi, I think we've seen the need of more informational sessions. I think people have probably more questions than they did before we started this session. So maybe next time you can give us another session, maybe that is, maybe prepared before people can ask questions before, so that we are prepared to do this. I just wanted to mention, I think because I had it at the very beginning, somebody asked if from the German side, there is need to declare your dual citizenship. The German law is silent on this. So basically, there's no need. It's not like the Kenyan one where you have to declare it. The German one is silent. But eventually, you will have something to do with the authorities and it will come out. But from the German side, there is no need for this declaration. And I think somebody asked about political offices, state offices. I think that's something we can all come together as diaspora. That needs the constitution to be changed. And I think we should all come together, maybe support our MPs so that they can change this thing, because it does not make sense for us to have dual citizenship, yet we can't run for these political offices. Back at home, we can't be state officers. So this is something we should come together and see how we can push for a change of the constitution. The last thing, I think we have legal issues, Balozi. Many people have reached out. People applied IDs after they had gotten their citizenship. And that's where the problem begins, because I think we have a case of a Kenyan right now who was in Kenya, and the German authorities, the embassies, have an ID that was applied after she had applied or she had gotten her German citizenship. So the German authorities, the German embassy revoked the citizenship because this document was illegal, because she was a German citizen, and by applying for this ID, it means she had applied for another citizenship. And that, I mean, before the 27th of June, it meant that if you apply for another citizenship, you lose your German one automatically. And I think we also have a problem because these documents, I mean, legally speaking, I'm not a lawyer, but of course an immigration specialist. Legally speaking, these documents are not valid, even if they were not given. But we have so many people who use these documents to buy properties. So these are things we really need to sit down and discuss, so that our people who are here should not face any consequences. Maybe they lose their property because the documents were illegal, or they lose their German citizenship if it comes to us. So those are things I think we should address. And when we prepare the other meeting, maybe we should also have legal experts on board so that things can be clarified. But that's it. Thank you very much for having the session, and I yield back the mic to you, Madam Balozi.
Thank you, Cyrus.
I have a short question to this process. We checked in the internet in the moment, and there is standing regaining citizenship fee 5,000 Kenyan shilling, and the information what we got today from the meeting is 20,000, 50,000, and 10,000. Is this a mistake in the internet, so in the website, or is it just missing an update?
It's an update that is missing.
Okay.
Okay. Second question, please.
And the second question is for the question what we have with a passport. Do we have to apply for the children in the embassy in Germany, or do we have to go to Kenya to ask for a Kenyan passport?
For our sake, when I gave birth to my daughter, it was in 2013, and I got my German citizenship in 2016. And according to what I had before, when the child was born, when the parent was a Kenyan, that child has a right to a Kenyan passport. Where should I apply the Kenyan passport?
I think that's the question to Rogers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we have Evans Rono. Evans Rono, please.
Thank you so much, Balozi and Rogers, for your time, and everyone who has contributed. Most of my questions have been answered, and I don't wish to ask a new question, but I will request, as others have requested, that in the next meeting, you might need a presentation to really show us clearly different scenarios and fees. Yeah, like for example, my case, I will be interested to know if my kids, Kenyans, I'm a Kenyan, my kids are Kenyans, and if they reach 18 and they want to acquire German citizenship, do we need to inform you to come and declare dual citizenship? And what are the fees for that case? And you may answer in the next question, but if you have a ready answer, Rogers may answer that. Otherwise, thank you very much and have a nice evening.
Thank you, Evans. I'll give that to Rogers to answer, and I agree that next time before we have another session, we'll need to consolidate all the questions, compile everything that needs clarification. And then also one other thing I want to say, I went out of my way to get the expert from immigration in Nairobi. I think that should be appreciated, and we need to behave respectfully and with decorum. I do know that this is a weekend. You never know where we may have visited, but it is good to exercise restraint in terms of what we are saying in a meeting like this. I see the issue of ID is very prominent. I will talk to the Department of Civil Registration so that next time I can also get somebody from there, but we need to really exercise restraint and be respectful in how we relate here in these meetings. So I give this to Rogers so that Rogers can respond.
Thank you, Ambassador. There's a question about how do the applications done for passports. The norm is that the application can be done for the embassy, and the embassy will do all the processing. They'll be brought to us. We print the passports. We take them back to the embassy for owner transmission to the owners. So all the applications that are being done, they are done through the embassy. That is one. For Evans, he gave us a food for thought so that next time we can have the presentation so that we have step-by-step chronology of events to make sure that each one of us has a grasp of exactly what is happening, so that we are aware, so that we don't have to hang around or hang in between as we make the applications.
And also cross-check what you might need from the German side. Which documents do you need from the German side? Yeah, maybe. maybe the Department for Diaspora Affairs can work with you from this side to give you a clear view, and so that we don't assume. Yeah, so that we don't assume. When we declare it, we know we have dual citizenship, because later on we don't need any of the nation to disown us. The case of Miguna, deporting him and all that, you never know what can happen later on if we declare Kenyan nationality on top of German nationality without informing the German system. So I don't know if you cross-check, you will get some of the checklist that you might need case by case from the German side to go along with declaration of Kenyan nationality. Thank you.
So do we bring this to a close? I don't know how many requests I have pending. Nasra had spoken.
I had a question.
I have a question. Excuse me. Hello? I was going to give the chance to Nasra. Please be quick and short and precise. Are you there?
Sorry, I just forgot to take my hand down. I am done. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. That's relieving to know. Joanne?
Yeah, mine is just frustration. First of all, thank you for giving me the opportunity to ask the question. Mine is really frustration. I sent my renunciation of a Kenyan citizenship since 2019, and I got a feedback that it is in the process. But since then, I've not gotten anything. Now it's done 5 years since I submitted all my documents. I don't have anything. It means I'm neither a Kenyan or a German. I don't have a German passport. I don't have a Kenyan passport. I'm just there. I can't travel. I can't do anything. I'm really frustrated. Please, can you tell me how long do they need to take? How long should I wait for this process? And can I maybe apply for replacement of my Kenya passport? And how do I go about it? Because I tried today to replace. I went online, and this e-passport, I tried to give all the details, but they requested for my passport pages, which I don't have. Since it's 5 years, I don't know anything about my passport anymore. I have nothing.
Okay.
I'm just pending.
Had you. Rogers will respond. Naomi, is that an old hand up?
Anthony. Yes, no. No, it's not. It's an old hand. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Jacinta?
No, it's the new one. Can I ask my question, please?
Okay.
Okay, I have 2 questions, and it's about first about changing the name, because when I was a Kenyan, after I renounced my citizenship, I kind of changed my surname. That my question is, when I'm now doing the regaining, do I have to attach my marriage certificate or any certificate to show that I changed my name to this, to that? And the next question is, when I'm by regaining nationality, when I'm uploading the form, there is this, I need a copy of my ID and passport. And in case if I do not have both of them, there is the renunciation certificate. Can I do either? Like, for the moment, I only have a copy of my ID, the old one. Is that okay, or do I have to still get the renouncing certificate?
Okay, so we go back to Rogers.
Thank you, Ambassador. It's unfortunate for Joanne that he did the application in 2019 and there's no feedback. What we can do on that case, we can through the embassy, you can give out the details, and then it comes to us. We try to see the position of the whole thing, and then we can get back to her with a full feedback, which is convincing why it is taken this late and how long it will take for it to come out. And then from there on, then we can be able to help her. Then on Naomi, sorry.
Can I please, can you just give me maybe a number that I can reach the Kenyan embassy here in Berlin so that they can give me any information. I'm really stressed.
Okay. Jane, please post the number on the chat. May you proceed, Rogers?
Thank you. On the other hand, we had Naomi, who, by the time of getting her German nationality, she changed her names. I suppose there must be a document to show that you change your names, and that's proof enough to show that you change your names legally. One of the things that one will change a name, if I heard you right, it's by marriage. So the fact that you have your marriage certificate, that suffices enough to grant you the change of name. So if you get that copy of marriage certificate, then you're good to go.
The other thing she can do is also do a deed poll. A deed poll takes a little longer. It has to be gazetted. It's a whole process if the marriage certificate is not there. But if you have the marriage certificate, then that works.
Exactly.
So, yeah. Then I am saying, who next? Are the questions all answered? Jennifer? Is this Jennifer?
There's Naomi.
Being an admin is not easy. I'm trying to see the names, they're quite small. Is there anybody whose question has not been answered? Did I see Angela?
I'm really not satisfied with whatever I've had. Can you just please give me specific? I'm 5 years down the line. I'm really waiting.
I've been waiting as well.
Can somebody help me, please?
Joanne, I'm so sorry. It's unfortunate that you waited that long. I may not be able to give you an instant answer. What I can say, please write to us at the embassy or come and see me at the embassy. Let me get the details and so that we can forward it to Nairobi. We do not know why it has delayed. Probably.
I have written mails and I've not received any response until now. That's worrying me so much.
Do you live in Berlin?
No, I live in Lübeck.
Please post your number on, how can I get your number?
But I can drive. I'm ready to do anything. I can.
Okay, write this and let me take it up. Yeah.
Hello. Should I write my number now?
You can write your number there and I will pick it up.
Madam
then
Ambassador,
I can call you. Yes.
Madam Ambassador, is like I said at the beginning, such cases you will find mostly, as she said, she has 5 years she has been waiting.
Yeah.
Me, I have 9 months. You see, it's like a repeatedly occasion, which I don't know how to say it. I feel sorry for her because it's 5 years. And, you know, who are we supposed to go to if our own government, they don't care about us?
You know, some of these things, Brian, please, let me talk. Some of these things, I may not have the answer because we need to investigate and get the details to the bottom of the matter. This is why I'm saying, let me take up these cases and send them to the relevant officers in Nairobi and follow up in my own way to find out what is behind, why the delay.
And another thing, you know, we live in Germany and we have pressure from both sides, you know.
Yeah.
We don't know to whom to go to because we try to reach to the Kenyan embassy. We get, like what you say, sorry that it happened to us or to her.
I want to cut
get always the same.
Let me give another proposal. Yeah. When you don't reach the embassy, can I then just propose go through the umbrella organization of Kenyans, KDAG. I'm usually in touch with Cyrus Robiro. He will get me that information to me. If you say that you're not reaching the embassy, please go to KDAG and that information is going to reach you.
I'll be honest to you, I've gone that far that I, in the registrar in Nairobi, I wrote to them. Also, I can prove to you, also maybe later I will send email. I wrote to anyone who I can try to reach, also of my way, you know. But nothing is, someone is not coming forward, also you don't get any reply, so you just stay there stranded in between.
Yes,
the question is,
let's make progress. I've had that, and I've said where you think you're not reaching the embassy, go through Cyrus, we get the details. So Angie.
Yes, thank you so much. My request was because there seems to be, or we seem to be raising a lot of questions, which I sort of have a feeling most of them cannot be answered in a one-time call. Can we have, because it has been mentioned, Cyrus is in contact with the embassy. Can we have a session, especially for ongoing cases, that people at least provide adequate details? This is my passport number. I renounced this time. Until now, I've not got my case. Or this is my ID number. I applied for an ID. Or this is my case number. I applied for an ID. Until now, I've not got a case. Because truth be told, even if all of us raise our issues about how my application for a passport was made 5 years ago, 2 years ago, the truth is that no one is able to answer us that because it's not information available on anyone's phone or on this whatever. Maybe we can make progress with that. And then second, it's maybe overtaken by events, but I think the lack of decorum is very appalling, at least, because we have to respect an office, even if we don't respect an individual. Can we at least respect people who are here, civil servants? In Kenya, they are paid until 5 p.m. People are here. Now it's, I think it should be around 11 p.m. in Kenya. These people are civil servants. They don't have to be here. Let's just have decorum in doing this. We can have our frustration. It's legitimate. It's right to be frustrated, but no one has to be here in this call at this time. At least for that reason, let us be respectful. Thank you.
Thank you, Angela. Yes, I know Roger's in Nairobi. I don't know what time it is right now. Tomorrow he has to be in the office maybe by 7 or earlier. That is a comment that we need to take seriously. Do we need to continue with this comment? Should we now collect the remaining questions? Can they be sent to Cyrus or can they be sent to the embassy? And then we can pick up this discussion again at another time.
Balozi, I had a question or something to say, but you didn't give me a chance.
I think you've spoken before.
Yeah, I spoke, yeah, because I just wanted to give an advice, but I had something from my side also.
Okay, make it brief.
Yeah, Balozi, there will be one request that I would make. These people who are talking here, a lot of people who are frustrated. You are new, you've come, maybe you're coming up with new energy. I would request maybe, if you'll create an email or you'll create a reference so that you put it in the website and say, if you have an unresolved matter, we'll be sorting it maybe on Friday, so that everybody knows that the embassy will only attend to unresolved issues maybe on Friday, so that somebody can find a way on how to drive, because these distances are very long, so that you can put it in a website and say, on this day, we will be dealing with past issues. And you tell your staff to please accept literally every issue, so that people know, okay, I am driving to Bali. It will cost me money, but I will come there. I'll come out from Berlin maybe with an answer or a hope, so that people will not come again when when we meet maybe 3, 4, 6 months later and say, I have not been sorted. If you will do that for us, we'll be very, very grateful. Just put in the website, we are closing this date for non-resolved issues, maybe on a particular topic. And then everybody can send emails and then you answer them.
Okay. Thank you. It's just as well that you took the
Madam
floor.
Ambassador, can I please make a note on that note that please check your junk mails and stuff like that, because sometimes very important things are going to the junk mail and then you miss them. So some people don't get their mails or whatever, but they are in the junk mail. Please check your mails. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for both comments. It's just as well that I gave you the floor to speak. We just had a team from Nairobi here, and I was telling them how we have very many issues here. We are understaffed. We are trying our best. Like you say, yes, I've come in with the new energy. There is a lot to handle. Now, in the meantime, I talked about staffing to them. They've gone back with this issue. In the meantime, before we are strengthened in terms of staffing, I would request if the issues that you're talking about can be channeled to the embassy through Cyrus. This we can review later when the embassy is well staffed. I hope that is an approach that can work. I'll always get them through Cyrus and then we address what needs to be addressed. Is that something that works? Then later, once we have enough staffing, the proposal that I have a specific day to attend to you directly or through an officer it's a really fantastic one. We can implement it, but I don't think at the moment it's something I can implement immediately, but we can begin this through the Kenya Diaspora, Kenya Diaspora, is it Kenya Diaspora Alliance in Germany, KDAG. We can begin through KDAG and then we'll progress further to that direct contact on a specific day. We know that this day, maybe the whole afternoon or the whole entire day from morning, it's a time that we are talking to the diaspora to get out their issues and exchange and improve the communication. It's very important. Is that something that is workable? And I've just got a text message to my phone that we don't have an overall organization in Germany. This will only cause more division, blah, blah, blah. Can I ask something, please, people? I know maybe we have issues as Kenyans here, but for the time being, let's work with KDAG. And then as we move ahead, I think we need to have another discussion later about the overall organization of Kenyans. I don't know. People are quiet. Okay, I'll propose that.
Excuse me, excuse me, may I say something? KDAG redirects to the embassy page.
Sorry?
KDAG redirects to the embassy page.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. You can send directly to the embassy.
Okay.
If it doesn't go through, or actually you can send to the embassy and copy KDAG. I don't know whether that works.
Because KDAG, you can't access it, so we don't know if there's an email or anything. I just go directly to the embassy page. I would have loved to look at what is on KDAG or what problems could be solved there. Yes, thank you.
Let's not open another discussion. Can we say that the discussion about our umbrella body, let it come into, let's talk about it later if we have to at another time, not this time. This time we are talking about regaining citizenship. Can we agree? And again, it's also getting late. Yeah. We've done March.
Madam Ambassador, please, did you note my number? I sent it there. Maybe I can come to Berlin anytime if you request me to come. I really need help.
Please, admin, take that number for me. I'll get it.
Also, switch on my video camera so that you can see.
Your audio is failing.
So I also wanted to say something. Madam Ambassador.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
My number.
Your number is on the chat, right? Hello? I'll get it. If it's on the chat, I'll get that number.
0717. Yeah, it's on.
I'll get it. If it's on the chat,
okay.
If it's,
yeah.
Okay. So can we close our meeting for today? I think we should, right? We have left no one behind. I think we've had all the concerns, all the questions. I want to take this opportunity to thank you all for taking your time to attend this meeting. We have listened to various concerns. They are different, they are varied, and every concern is legitimate. Let's continue with the conversation, and I think we need to make it more structured. This one was a beginning. There's always a beginning, so this is the beginning that was today. So we will look at things that we need to do. One of the things that was requested is to have from Rogers a write-up that we can load on our website, and so that it can we can get that information much more easily. We can have all the links there and what needs to be done. The issue of having a day to engage with the diaspora, it's something that is good in the long term, futuristic. We'll think about it. We have a new number also, which I asked that it be put on this chart. I hope it was, and you can also utilize it. The other thing is that let us guard our Kenyanness. Let us work towards our unity. Let's work towards supporting each other, especially when we are very far from home. That is what really we can do for each other as compatriots. And our country is a country that is respected. You don't know how much Kenya is respected. It is respected, I'm sure you know. And let's remain patriots. You may be aware that next month, our country will be the spotlight here in Germany. We are supposed to showcase our culture, and this is on the 13th and the 14th. I think I should convene another session where I will specifically talk about this. This is the Buga Fest. Maybe not today because we are tired, but we need to show up in large numbers for that festival and showcase our culture. And I'm also organizing a session. The embassy is organizing a session where we should interact with our leaders who are coming for this event. It's an event that really brings our relationship with Germany to the apex. We have had very good relations with this country, and it is extended now. The scope is extending to even labor migration, which is a good thing. And I think we need to appreciate this, celebrate this. It's very strategic to do this at this moment because there is need for labor here. And in Kenya, we have surplus of labor. There are countries that have developed because of labor export. There's nothing wrong with exporting labor. I know maybe we don't have uniformity of opinion back home on this issue, but I believe that it is a good issue. I've interacted with colleagues, other ambassadors from other countries. We have so many Egyptians here. We have so many South Africans here. drivers, all skills, nursing, all skills across the board. So for instance, I was being told by the companies that own the trains here and the buses that they don't recognize the Kenyan driving licenses because they feel that we don't do a good training back home to match their training for driving here. So that is why they don't hire many Kenyan drivers. And when Kenyan drivers are hired here in Germany, they have to undergo fresh training. And for an employer to train one individual, it costs 10,000 euros. So they feel that to hire Kenyan drivers, for instance, is a cost than to hire from South Africa, because the South Africa, maybe their training curriculum there is modeled along the 1 year in Germany. So we want to collaborate, borrow their curriculum, their structure of their training here for drivers, so that we can also model that back at home, so that when our drivers come here, then employers don't feel like they are losing. There are so many good plans that we have. I believe that the Labor Mobility Partnership Agreement that will be signed next month has good things for Kenya, and let's welcome this opportunity in a good way, and we should have a discussion in the near future before that time comes. So I want to thank you again and wish you a good week. Thank you for attending this meeting, and thank you for enriching it with your input. Rogers, please, may you have a good night. I know that tomorrow you have to be in the office early, and indeed everybody in here. And I could ask that maybe somebody could pray for us and bless us with a word of prayer as we begin this week. Is there a pastor in the room?
I can pray. Balozi, I can pray.
Thank you.
Okay, let us pray. Our Heavenly Father, we want to thank you this time of the hour. Thank you for bringing us together as